So today we are going to review what is text structure. And sometimes how we see that they word that on a question, on a test or a reading passage is they say, how did the author organize the story? And I know this is really hard for us because it's brand new in 4th grade. So we're going to review that in nonfiction because usually only in nonfiction do we see that they organize it in a certain way. So let's start with authors tell their story in a time order or sequence. So sometimes stories may be written in a sequence story. We may see the word sequence, or you may see chronological order. But in that, you see the keyword order. And that means the story was written in the order something happened. Sometimes they use dates, like in 1857, then in 1902. So it could be like the timeline of someone's life. Sometimes they'll use things like first, next, last, then. But even if you think way back when we read the story of Ivan, the shopping mall gorilla, they didn't use first, next, last, then, but they told us from the time he was born until the time he was set free, and it told us the timeline of things that happened. So I just kind of have to infer that that is a sequencing, chronological order type story. Sometimes it might just be the paragraph. Like paragraph, how did the author organize paragraph 3? Did they tell it in a time story? Sometimes they use things called problem and solution, where the whole story gives me a problem and they're going to give me a solution on how to fix it. Now remember, that is really, really close to cause and effect. Whereas cause and effect is going to tell me like something that happened and all the effects that go with it. Problem solution is going to tell me the problem and it's going to tell me how to fix the problem. Okay, so maybe it's about recycling. Well, if it's a problem solution, if it's organized in problem solution, the author organized the story by telling us the problem of pollution and giving us a solution on how to create better landfills. I don't know. But if it was a cause and effect, the author organized the story by telling us the cause and effects of a tornado hitting Galveston in 1900s. So he organized it by telling us all the effects of this one cause. Problem solution, he's going to tell me the one problem and then he's going to give me a solution on how to fix the problem. Sometimes the authors organize their stories or their paragraphs by compare and contrast. They're talking about two different things, how they're alike and how they're different. If you think back, we read the book about the bears that live in the Great Bear Rainforest. And in that book, they compared or really it was more than two, but they compared them and how they were the same and how they were different. And so sometimes they may write their story in a compare contrast, like they're telling me the differences and the sames about something. Sames, is that even a word? So this is the text structure. So if you need to like pause this video and zoom in or whatever, the only one we didn't talk about of those 4 was description. And sometimes the author just writes a story to describe something. Maybe he's describing an animal and how it lives. He's just simply describing something. He's not telling me the problem about how the animal's going extinct and how to fix it. He's not telling me the causes of people hunting and the effects of the people hunting. He's not telling me how the life cycle of an animal, how it begins and how it ends. He's not comparing the animal to anything else. He is just simply describing the animal, and that would be a description text structure. And sometimes an author organizes their story that way. But an author has to think about which one of these are they going to use when they start writing their story. Am I going to tell the cause and effects of something? Am I going to tell it in a time order story? So when you see those types of questions, it says the author organized the story by what? And it's going to be one of these 5. Okay?